Hello, I am Priyantha. Welcome to the ISM APAC.
Since 2014, ISM is located at Rand City in Colombo. ISME Group grew from humble beginnings as a small startup in the Netherlands in 1992 and have since branched out across the world to become a well-established solutions provider for e-commerce domains.
I walk into office in the morning with a smile on my face because every day here is a fun adventure.
What makes working here exciting for me is opportunity to work with people from around the world.
Hello everyone, welcome to our second episode with hackX Tech Talks. Today we are joined with the Head of Human Resources at ISM APAC, Mr. Samitha Liyanage. Hello sir, thank you so much for taking the time of your busy schedule to be a part of this interview. So, to start off, how are you doing today?
Hello, Manikshani. I'm doing great and things are going fine. So how's things with you?
Things are doing great, sir, in this area too, and we are glad to hear that you are doing good. To start off with, we would like to know a little bit about ISM APAC and what kind of business is run within the company.
All right. So ISM APAC actually was started back in 2014. So it's been close to 7+ years that we are in Sri Lanka. And we actually, I would say, a facility, located in Sri Lanka, headquartered in the Netherlands, and we are now known for as Sana Commerce, pretty commonly known as Sana Commerce in the Europe and in the US. And so mostly we started off as a part of ISM Group, which is an e-commerce solutions provider in the Netherlands and the Europe. And then they developed this specific product called Sana Commerce. That's again another e-commerce solution. So we are basically providing development, support for a Sana Commerce product from Sri Lanka. Yeah.
Okay, so we can see that ISM APAC is a well established company. So, can you tell us a little bit about the employee experience at ISM APAC?
All right. So talking about employee experience, okay. Yes, I would start basically before an employee joining the company, so which we call pre-boarding, from our terminology. Yeah. So once we finalized all the interviews with the candidates, we basically, sign contracts beforehand, and then before the particular employee joining the company, we start connecting with them. Like we assign a specific person to them called a buddy, so they get in touch with this new employee, and so they talk to them, give information about the company, like the culture, and if they have any questions to clarify them. So what we kind of do is we prep them to join the company. So before them joining, they know what sort of a company we are and what culture we have and things like that. And so from the day they join itself, okay, it's, I would say, it's a very how do I say, it's a both benefiting in relationship that they have. So we get them to, it's not just a job they do, it's just not that they come work from 8 to 5 and go. There's nothing like that. It's a both benefiting and relationship that we have. So we, for the business, we get the support from employees to okay, contribute them, to commit them, and make us a better company. And at the same time, we support them and we empower them to become better individuals. So I would say, if you need like talk to any of the employees, like to ask like what the experience is, they would like more or less the last day when they leave the company, they're like they miss the people, they miss the company, especially the culture, because I would say it's mostly benefiting employment. Like we benefit with the support and the technological skills they have, and at the other hand, employee can basically benefit from developing themselves and grooming them into their next potential roles. Yeah.
Yes, it's great to hear that ISM APAC has a very good relationship with its employees. And when reflecting on the career path, what difference do you see in ISM APAC which makes it stand out from its competitors?
Right. A very important question, Manikshan. It's with, I mean, anybody joining a company, obviously they have an intention of, growing up in the career ladder, right? So from us, what we do is we have kept things quite simple, and we have kept things open. Now we basically have defined career paths and career ladders and career tracks communicated to our employees who join the company from the onboarding itself. So see, if you take the technological job or the occupations per se, now if I take a developer, there are multiple tracks they can groom in. Now they can join as a, let's say, junior or a media. They can become a senior, a tech lead, a team lead, like, and they go further in the technical career, or else they can switch careers and they can become like a project manager if they like management, per se. And let's say they want to switch careers even, okay, that's also a possibility. So what we have done was we have career paths, and also we have something called job competency framework. Now this defines what particular soft skills as well as technical skills, like the competencies, a particular role is required if anybody is interested to go into that level. So what happens is now career development is not only a company's responsibility, but also the individuals. Now let's assume, you join our company as a, let's say, QA engineer, and you need to become a senior QA engineer. Then what happens is the competency framework gives you an idea, okay, what sort of competency should I develop myself? And at the same time, the career path grooming, that will show you, okay, what are the next possible, positions or like promotions that I can get to. So there, it's basically a decision that you can have to take on your own, and the company will support you to groom you to that level. And very importantly, I need to highlight on this aspect as well. Now, let's assume that you all of a sudden figure out your interest area is not that what you have been doing, but is something different. We also support on that as well. I can give you like examples, like we have had business development executives, joining as project coordinators and becoming technical writers. And there were a few who joined with corporate communications and branding and, that aspect. And also we have, individuals who have joined as business development and moved into their careers as data science, associates. So likewise, if you have an interest area that you all of a sudden figure out, okay, no, I need to switch careers, even for that, we do support from the organization to, help them to be their best. So I would say, in terms of career, what we, as a company promote is being your best self.
Yes, sir. I think it's what makes ISM APAC difference is something that employees require. They always try to see if they can, go up on the career ladder. And it's great to hear that ISM APAC help the employees with that. So it's definitely not something that we see. So thank you for your answer. So nowadays, the technologically savvy Sri Lankans are considered as a resource, especially with the development of technology. And what does your company do to help this younger generation like hone up their technological skills?
Right. So, okay, I will start it with that from this aspect. Now, in a lot of universities, they have separate modules that they need industries exposure. Now, that they can call as a, let's say, internship, or as they have modules like, where specialized people from the industry coming in and doing sessions, right? So we do a lot of support, or I would say a lot of cooperation with universities in terms of that aspect. Now we also run like internship programs in a company. So we have basically, signed up MOUs with a few universities who we work further with, and we provide them internship opportunities. On top of that, like we have in our schedules at least one guest lecture for like a university we do conduct. Now, this is like a plan, like a schedule we have. We pick different universities. So we reach out to them and we ask them like what sort of skill, aspects do you need development or sessions on, and we do conduct it. So we have done several sessions, I would say, from not only technological aspects. So I myself have done sessions about, how to write a CV, how to face an interviews and things like that. So that on that aspect, we do a lot of, inputs like we give to the society. And at the same time, I have to highlight, okay, we are partnered, like we are part of, a member of Slascom. So through Slascom also we, give our support and, contribution to a lot of, aspects. Now, for an example, these days we are working on a project to find out the exact employability skills what students may need, because we try to like we kind of figured out, okay, there seems a big difference, like there's a gap in terms of when like fresh graduates come out of the university versus to when we want them to join the company. There might be a few gaps here and there. So we were trying to come up with a platform to to minimize the gap. So likewise, there's a lot of going in the back, but might not be very visible to you guys. But still, as a company, we have taken one of our core ambition to contribute to the society. We have made it one of our responsibilities to make sure to go out and then support whatever the aspects that this new generation, younger generation, they need this skill advancement to support out there.
Yes, sir. And ISM APAC partnering up with us also reflects that your stand on helping the younger generation, like develop their skills. So it's clear your company stand on it. So in the present world, the work-life balance is very important to employees. They struggle with that. So what does your company do to help your employees maintain that work-life balance?
Right. So work-life balance in ISM APAC has a long history, I would say, because from the day we started, I think that was one of the key elements and aspects that we were quite keen on. That we kind of wanted to ensure the people who work for us will definitely have a good balance in their life. Because if you think about IT industry in Sri Lanka, it's known, like it's widely aware that everybody knows it's a very stressful job role that you have to play. You have to work on the day, you have to work on the night, the weekends, to all of that, right? But so knowing that, something that that we made one of our key priorities and objectives is that our employees will have a good work-life balance. So we have done, I would say, from the beginning, we have had many plans in our agenda to make sure that our employees do have a good work-life balance. Now, as some examples I can quote you, like by usually in any company by 5:30 you don't see many people going home, right? But in
Yeah.
our company by 5:36 max we see like majority is not there. Like very few who have like, let's say, critical deadlines staying back and working, because we do encourage them to take the break whenever they need. And if let's say someone staying back and working, even sometimes the GM or country head, we ourselves we just go and check how things are, whether they're staying back, is it like is it a problem they have. Likewise, they're keenly looking into their that aspect as well. Now, the other aspect that I could highlight is that, okay, as per the requirements, we have standard starting times and ending times. But, due to this COVID pandemic, we are compelled to, work from home. But we had working from home like long time back before all the companies starting it. So even there, you can basically manage your time. So rather than going behind people, looking about the number of hours they do and stuff like that, we have kind of empowered them to manage their time schedules and get the work done. So that's what we think is more important, because being an employee of a company doesn't mean you commit your whole life to that. It's basically you need to make sure that you do your commitment and get your job done, as well as you have a good life with your family and friends and stuff.
Yes, like you stated, it's great to hear that you do consider that human aspect of employees and companies these days. It's very competitive in there, and they tend to forget that they are humans. And it's great to hear how you adjusted to the COVID situation as well, and how you think about your employees. And I think the trend today is that companies are beginning to think about their employees, and it's great to hear that ISM APAC has already, implemented means to think about their employees as well. So ISM APAC has provided an immense support to us as the official platinum partner of hackX Innovative Startup Challenge throughout years, I would say. And we would love to know, what is your opinion about hackX?
Right. So yes, it's I think good to know. Okay, why we have been like contributing and partnering with you guys for all this time, right? Yes, so I would like to highlight on one aspect that there are a lot of hackathons that happen, from a lot of different universities, right? So we also do get a lot of proposals. So what we basically look at is what is in there for the participants. That's one of the important aspects that we evaluate when we, basically want to partner with a hackathon. So from hackX, what we have figured out is that the way how you plan it and way how you conduct, the hackathon as well as, the participants, they do get a good exposure because being like a graduate doesn't mean you need to have like a first class degree, or I mean I would say it's great to have that, but then not only having your academics strong, but you need to be like an all-rounder, who can work with others, who have good communication skills, and who can adapt to organization or maybe an environment. So we believe and we feel that hackix provides that sort of platform for for undergraduates to basically join, and then for them to develop their skill set, at least to experience what happens in a sort of real life. So that's why I'm happy to say that we feel okay the importance of supporting you guys to continue your journey, and you have been doing great, so be very happy about it. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for the words of encouragement. And as you said, hackX is always trying to provide a platform that will give exposure to the competitors as well. So earlier you talked about that you see some gap between the graduates and their employable skills. So we would like to know what are the skills that are required from potential employees, the younger generation, for them to be employable.
Right. So yeah, if I start, Manikshini, I would say now as an individual, these days companies are looking for the technical fitness. That is true. As in, like any company, they would see if a particular individual does have the technical skill set that we look for. But at the same time, number one is that we have to work in a team. So team working is a key skill that we need from, freshers who are joining the companies, because sometimes from I would say from organization's perspective, we feel like some of the individuals are really good in terms of getting the work done, but when it comes to working in teams, they can have hiccups here and there, right? And the next challenge I would say is the learning agility, like how well you are willing to learn, because needless to say, the technologies basically are revamping and improving day by day. If you look at a particular skill set, like a tech stack, that would be basically not the same in 6 months time, right? So if you are not willing to learn and adapt yourself, basically it's about the learning willingness to learn. So if you don't have it, you might be a little stagnant when it comes to like in the corporate environment. When you join a company and work, if you're not willing to learn new technicalities and then let's say adapt to that, then you might be an outdated guy, right? And thirdly, I would say the important aspect would be how will you communicate with one another? Because we have felt, based on these surveys that we have done, that most of the companies feel like, okay, when it comes to fresh graduates, they can do the job well, that they are good in teamwork and stuff, but sometimes they were not in a position to communicate, exactly what they intend to communicate. So there seems to be communication gap. So this we can talk about in terms of the language knowledge as well as the skill. Could be that you are good in, let's say, I think Sinhala or English or Tamil or whatever the language. But if you cannot convey it the way that you intend to communicate, let's say when I tell you something and you don't understand the way that I intend to communicate it, there is a gap. So that's both ways, how you say it out as well as how you perceive it. So likewise, we also feel so communication is also an important area that you need, that freshers might need to work on. And highlighting on technological aspect, like if I say like a hot skill, what they would need is like basic understanding of theoretical perspective. So for an example, let's say sometimes it's a little interesting for us to know, like this young fresh graduates know a lot of different languages, like you name it, they know it. But sometimes when you ask like a conceptual question, they might stutter a bit to answer. So it could be that it's good if they can develop in terms of the conceptual skills as well. So these are like key things that I want to highlight. Not that we see like a huge gap, But then if we can maybe, develop this to like a better skill level, I think we can pretty much easily compete with the global market because of the standards that we maintain in the country. We have a good, skilled workforce we have. So just that we need a little bit of tweaking here and there.
I can't stress enough how helpful your words were. I mean, especially our audience are all undergraduates mostly, and school A-level students also. So, I mean, our audience are the ones who are going to be potential employees. So, I can't stress enough how helpful your words and advices were. And thank you for those advices, and thank you for joining in with us today, despite maybe all your work. And we wish you all the very best for your future endeavors, and hope you have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
So
And thanks a lot to you as well. And I wish you all the very best for hackers to go for like years and years. Because as I said, okay, the whole overall hackathon provides a good exposure to the participants, and that's something we have experienced. We have provided mentors and resource peoples and evaluators, so we know to what depth that you guys cater to from this hackathon. So good job done, guys. So best wishes to continue the great job. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, and we hope that ISM APAC would be with us for years to come as well. And that is a wrap for our episode of hackX Tech Talks. So let's meet with another interesting episode in the future.
Official Platinum Partner ISM APAC.